Prapta Tokavati Muhu. Read the translation.
As far as my daughter-in-law Kunti is concerned, upon the great General Pandu's death, she became a widow with many children, and therefore she suffered greatly. And when you were grown up, she suffered a great deal also because of your actions.
So Bhismadevi is saying, not only you suffered, but I have seen how my daughter-in-law Kunti had to undergo suffering. When we were small children and she was widow, there was nobody to protect her, nobody to stand by her side. In this connection, one incident comes to my mind when Pandu Maharaj was cursed by a Rishi Patni that whenever he attempted to have sexual relationship with his wife, he will leave his body. So therefore, he was not coming closer to his wives. And because he had this curse, that's why he was not able to give birth to any child. So one time, Pandu Maharaj, he entrusted the responsibility of the kingdom to Vidura. Then he went to forest. And while he was in the forest, then one day he told Kunti Devi, he said, Kunti, as you know, you cannot receive any baby from me. So therefore, I am requesting you, you should get the blessing from the demigods and give birth to the children. Kunti Maharani said, no, I can't do that. Then Pandu Maharaj said, why? Already you have got the blessing from your Guru Maharaj. You know the mantra, you can chant the mantra, the demigods will come, and then by their blessing you can have a child. She said, no, if I have to take child, I want to take child from you only. Then Pandu Maharaj said, why are you thinking like that? That is completely religious. It's not a question of religious act. You don't think that in material world how husband and wife they procreate, it will be that kind of relationship between you and demigods. No. Some demigod they will come, they may chant some mantra, they may just simply touch you, and that's how you will become pregnant. And you can give birth to the children. So don't worry, that will be perfectly under the practice of religious principle. So you should call for the demigods. Then after Pandu Maharaj's advice, Kunti Maharani agreed. And Pandu Maharaj told her, he said, well, if you feel this is not as per religious act, first you invite Dharmaraj. If Dharmaraj comes, that means this is according to religion. If Dharmaraj does not come, then you should know this is not according to religion. So then Kunti Maharani, after being instructed by Pandu Maharaj, she chanted the mantra and invited Dharmaraj, and Dharmaraj came. So in this way from Dharmaraj he received Yudhishthira. And then after Yudhishthira was born, then again Pandu Maharaj said, now you should invite Vayudev, from whom you should receive a very, very strong, very strong son. Then as he invited Vayudev, then Bhima was born. Then again from Indra, Arjuna was born.
Surya as well.
No, Surya, that was before her birth, before her marriage.
It was not at that time?
No, before her marriage, the Surya Deva was there. She gave birth to Karna. So, then after 3 sons are born, Then again, Pandu Maharaj said to Kunti, said that, okay, now you should also help your sister Madri to conceive the baby. Then Kunti Maharani also again prayed for Ashwini Kumar. And from Ashwini Kumar, our Madri, she gave birth to Nakula and Sahadev. So in this way, 5 children were born. And then they were living in the forest very happily. And what happened? The day they were celebrating Arjun's birthday party. And that was in the month of Chaitra. Chaitra means Basanta, spring season. Spring season. And so the garden where they were staying near a Rishi's ashram, all around there was nice flower garden, good cool breeze was blowing, fragrant breeze, very conducive for amorous activities. So Pandu Maharaj was just wandering in the garden with Madri, and then he developed his desire to unite with Madri. Then Madri was actually saying, no, should not do because this is, you have a curse. But Madri, in spite of Madri, instructing him not to touch, as he attempted, then he left his body. Because that was a curse. Whenever he would attempt, then he would leave his body. So after Pandu Maharaj left his body, then the discussion started, who is going to enter into the funeral pyre? Kunti said, I want to enter, because I am the eldest wife. Madri said, no, because of me this has happened, I should enter. Then there was a kind of discussion, so who should become sati? Because there are small children, somebody has to take care of the children also.
Yes.
So one has to remain alive, another party will go to the funeral pyre. So then the rishis, they came, then they decided, they agreed that Madri should enter. Madri said, look, I am not as great as Kunti. Kunti has a big heart. If I remain alive, definitely I will make the difference between my son and her sons. But Kunti does not have that kind of mindset. I know she will equally treat my children and her children. Therefore, she should take care of the children and I should go with my husband. So in that way, Madri also entered into the funeral pyre. So Pandu Maharaj, Madri, they all left. Now only Kunti Maharani along with 5 children. Then she came back to Hastinapur. When she came back to Hastinapur, just imagine, Prithaval Prajavadhu, Jusman Kire Bahum Kayasan. She had to undergo terrible sufferings. When Kunti Maharani returned to Hastinapur, Duryodhana and party, nobody would accept that they are the sons of Pandu Maharaj. They were criticizing, bad-mouthing Queen Kunti that there was a curse. How come you could give birth to the baby from Pandu Maharaj? It is impossible. Outwardly speaking, this is correct. But the thing is, you see, even if somebody, this is the rule also, even if Pandu Maharaj didn't give birth to the baby, but because it was under Pandu Maharaj's guidance this happened, therefore they are Pandu's sons. It should be accepted like that. And all these great souls, they came, then they witnessed what had happened. When they explained, after that only they accepted Kunti and the children as sons of Pandu. Now you can imagine, this is one incident. And as you know, Bhima was poisoned. And so many times they were attempting to kill the Pandavas. Such a horrible situation. One single mother, 5 small children, she had to bring them up with so much struggle when people who she is living with are always inimical to her. What a great suffering she had to go through. So Bhishma Dev, he is remembering all these things and he is telling to them that this is what you have to go through. So that means he's saying that never think that all these sufferings was caused because of your karma. No. Finally, he is saying, Sarvam kala kritam manye bhavatam cha jadapriyam svapavo jadvase loko vayuriva ghanavalihi. Read the translation.
In my opinion, this is all due to inevitable times under whose control everyone in every planet is carried, just as the clouds are carried by the wind.
Okay? In my opinion, this is all due to inevitable time. Sarvam kala kritam manye. How he is saying? He is giving an example, just like cluster of cloud is floating in the sky and they are not stable in one place. Their position is being changed by the movement of the wind. So they are moving by wind. Similarly, all the sufferings caused to you, that was because of the time factor, inevitable time. Oh, what is this? Krishna is there. Krishna is God. Now Kala has become more powerful. That means Kala is superior to Krishna. What do you think?
Kala is the Krishna. Kala is the Krishna.
Means?
He is also related to Krishna himself. All Krishna. Kala, Pati, nature, everything coming from him.
Actually, that is the sweet desire of Krishna. Whatever Krishna desire, that is the Kala, that is the time factor. Okay, so my dear devotee, let us try to spend some time in understanding. Have you ever been bewildered when trying to determine the cause of suffering in your life? Anyone? Yes? Revati Nandan Prabhu?
We know basically that Krishna is Sarvakarana Karana.
No. I am asking you, have you ever been bewildered?
Yeah, but I want to answer. This is, we know the theory, but in practice, Krishna is also trying to make us elevated, to grow in our spiritual consciousness, and sometimes we don't know how he wants, what we should adjust, what we should tweak. Because we know that Krishna wants something from us, but how to adjust. And of course, Sadhu Guru Shastra are there, but we are not going to ask them every time we have a doubt, isn't it? They are so busy. So sometimes we have to use our intelligence.
Any other?
No, like no, because we are already started Bhagavatam. The understanding everything happened because our Supreme Lord. Without his wind senses, even the grass cannot move.
Please bless me so that I can also have this mood.
Yeah?
Please bless me, I want to have this mood. I am really sometimes troubled by my mind. I always try to blame other devotees. So fallen. I don't see that Krishna's hand is working behind. I always try to see he is the culprit. He is doing this problem for me. He is the troublemaker. I have not yet come to that understanding yet because of my material mind. Please bless me so that I can one day at least see Krishna. Krishna's hand. Hmm?
So, situations do come,
Hmm.
but in my case, I try to give one night.
Hmm.
In Japa time,
Hmm.
Krishna will surely, give some, or after the Japa, certainly there is some clarity in the situation.
Hmm.
I have to go talk
Hmm.
upfront and clarify it or something. There has to be some reason that he does it for, to change, to make me a better person.
Hmm.
So I react sometimes,
Hmm.
but I have observed that when I give one night,
Hmm.
there is a better clarity and better, rather than just reacting,
Hmm.
I can respond
Mm.
better. So this is just an
Good.
observation.
No, that's a very good observation. That's a very good observation.
And sometimes I do write to Krishna's.
Mm.
When we write, my mind, if there's a clutter,
Hmm.
the clarity comes. Oh, I beat my child because, I didn't want to look bad in front of somebody.
Hmm.
Sometimes it is there in my heart.
Hmm.
Because of my own, everybody should say my daughter is good and all.
Hmm.
So sometimes I write, Krishna, I beat her, okay, and this, and then, why? When that question why comes, then I start writing and, there is something deeper. I had that intention that I wanted to show off
Good,
earlier.
good, excellent, very good. That's why. Simply try to abide by Krishna's instructions. Try to some other follow Krishna in that way. That's how you can get. That's a very good practice actually, very nice way.
My Shiksha Guru, he does journal writing and he encourages us all that every time write to Krishna. Whether Krishna, he will certainly help, but you yourself will get the complete picture in front of your eyes.
Okay, good. So what do you think? Vishnudev was a Mahajan and he knows Shastra Gyan very clearly, right? He knows what is right and what is wrong. Such an elevated personality. He was sitting quiet in the Kuru assembly while Draupadi was being insulted. Not only that, even after that also, he chose to fight by the side of Duryodhana. So, why did Bhishmadev, a great devotee of the Lord, fight against the Pandavas? Why he did not fight by the side of the Pandavas?
I think there was 2 points. It was because Krishna brought him to fight against them because it's just Krishna's nature. He wanted Vishwadev to show the world, because Krishna's way of teaching is by putting certain great personalities in suffering so that the world can learn from it.
Okay.
And the main
What
reason
he wanted to teach?
that vice cannot be defeated by virtues. So basically to say that regardless of how strong the personality is of the individual, if he's supporting the wrong side, he cannot win.
That is the point. How great you may be, if you take the wrong side, you can't win the battle. What did you learn from this?
To be on the side of Krishna.
Huh?
We have to be on the side of Krishna. Prabhupada. Whatever Prabhupada's teachings are, if we go according to that, we'll be safer.
The Dharma, Guru Shastra, what you say? Sadhu, Guru Shastra.
So
Dharma, must be
imagine
Dharma.
a situation when you are serving as a leader in your temple or in your congregation, whatever, you have been assigned some duty to perform as a leader. Then you find, because you are leader means you have big seat, right? Big seat means you can move things,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And that time, if somebody under you who commits a big mistake, then what do? You support him. Yeah, you have seat, no? Yeah, you have a seat. You can just with your seat you can manipulate things, and you can do just rescue him like that. What do you think?
That's wrong thing. Wrong.
Bhishmadev was such a big person. He was supporting Duryodhana. What happened? Would he protect him? Would he give victory to Bhishmadev, Duryodhana?
You know.
By you having a big seat and you try to give shelter to those who are going against religion, Vaishnava Dharma, you think you can protect them?
No.
You cannot. Maybe temporarily you are in the position, you are okay for few days, few months, maybe few years. After that you will see the Kala is going to come behind you. How great, how powerful you may be, if you are taking the wrong side, you cannot win. Prabhupada is saying, see? Anyway, so see this, what Prabhupada is saying. Hear this?
Bhishma was a great devotee of the Lord, but he chose to fight against the Pandavas by the will of the Lord, because the Lord wanted to show that a fighter like Bhishma cannot win on the wrong side.
Person like you having big position, you cannot win on the wrong side. Management principles can be learned from these kind of topics.
He is also one of the rasa in fighting rasa, Krishna's rasa.
Why are you mixing that with this?
Yeah.
Why are you mixing that fighting rasa with this rasa?
Krishna ever.
Have you understood this point?
Yes.
What did you understand from here?
Even coming through him, the rasa also not follow the dharma of Krishna acceptably, he will lose.
No, I am telling here, if sometime you become a leader, spiritual leader, and somebody is committing wrong things and you support him, that you should not do. You cannot be successful.
No.
Like Bhishmadev, he could not be
Yes.
successful
Yes.
while fighting on the wrong side. Okay?
Okay.
So one question was there
Yeah.
regarding Pandu's life.
Uh,
Like he died because of the curse.
uh.
So what will be his position? Like in our general, if we see a Bhakti Shastri teaching, Yam Yam Vapi Swaran Bhavam. So what was the thought? Like he will be like we can say a lusty person towards his wife and he is leaving the body. So that will be acting that same way, or like the curse will act on that particular.
No, you cannot see these external things. See, Krishna's devotees are under Krishna's protection. So that is what he was thinking at that time. How can you externally maybe he was attempting, and what was his consciousness at that time? Consciousness is a question of fraction of a second. Wow, Krishna inspired him and what happened to him next, I cannot tell anything. Definitely we know these souls are not ordinary souls. They are very advanced souls. Advanced souls, their external activities and appearances should not be taken into account while determining what is their destination. They are in Krishna's hand, how Krishna has inspired him, what was his thought of action at that time, at the time of leaving his body, I can't say anything. But definitely those who are being handled by Krishna, their destination is good. This much we can say. Influence of inevitable time. Read this.
Influence of inevitable time. Despite the power of pious acts, the power of personalities, the power of expert management, and the power of weapons under direct supervision of Lord Krishna, the Pandavas suffered so many practical reverses, which can only be explained as due to the influence of Kala, inevitable time. Kala is identified with the Lord himself, and therefore is identical with the Lord himself, and therefore the influence of Kala indicates the inexplicable wish of the Lord himself. There is nothing to be lamented when a matter is beyond the control of any human being.
Okay? So here Kala is inexplicable wish of the Lord himself. So you cannot say Pandavas are suffering because of their karma. Then
The sufferings of the Pandavas were never due to their past deeds. The sufferings of the Pandavas were never due to their past deeds. The Lord had to execute the plan of establishing the kingdom of virtue, and therefore his own devotees suffered temporarily in order to establish the conquest of virtue.
okay? So then this is how we completed up to 16, then 17 says Tasmadidam Daiva Tantram Vyavasya Bharatarsava Tasyanu Vihito Natha Natha Pahi Prajaprabho. The translation?
All best among the descendants of Bharata and Yudhishthira, I maintain therefore that all this is within the plan of the Lord. Accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord, you must follow it. You are now the appointed administrative head, and my Lord, you should now take care of those subjects who are now rendered helpless.
So this is within the plan of the Lord. Whenever there is some tribulations faced by a devotee, they should accept this as the plan of the Lord. The popular saying is that a housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by chastising the daughter. Similarly, the Lord teaches the world by teaching the devotee. Whenever, therefore, a show is made to teach the devotee, it is for teaching the less intelligent man. A devotee's duty, therefore, is to ungrudgingly accept tribulations from the Lord as a benediction. Okay?
Okay.
Sometimes some people they ask this question, what is the use of becoming devotee of the Lord? The Pandavas, they were such great souls, they are so much close to Krishna, still they had to suffer heavily, so much suffering. Why should I become devotee of Lord Krishna? If I become, maybe I have to go through such suffering. I don't want to. How do you respond to them?
They are only, you are only seeing like small part of that sufferings. You have to see the result also. It is, when we suffer, we learn from it and we become a better person. And we get a chance to...
In terms of what you just read,
Oh, with this.
Lord is teaching
But
to
then
his devotees, and devotees are not going